And they too were very embarrassed that I would run for president. They thought it was patently absurd for me to think so highly of myself as to run for president.
Mm.
And they declined to be interviewed. Many in my community were quite embarrassed. They felt that I was embarrassing the community, that I was bringing shame to the community because I had no chance at winning. But my point was, it wasn't just whether I could win the presidency, it was leveraging power.
Mm.
Because if you could get delegates, you could use that to leverage the platform of whoever was the nominee. You could
Yeah.
use it to leverage who would get into different positions. And we saw Clyburn do that with the Biden presidency.
That was good.
Basically, I would throw my support behind you and get Black America to support you, but you've got to put a Black woman as vice president, as your vice presidential candidate. That's essentially what happened. And Kamala Harris ended up being the one chosen on that ticket. You understand?
Yeah.
And so often we go for the crumbs and we don't leverage the power that we have. And some just did not understand that. Just because you can't win the presidency doesn't mean you abdicate any power. We must remember the words of Frederick Douglass: power concedes nothing without a demand.
Mm.
We still have not learned that basic lesson and how to wield the power that we do have. Sit around wringing your hands and begging and hoping that your enemy will work with you. Listen, during that presidential campaign, you've heard of Barbara Lee.
Yeah.
Barbara Lee today is the mayor of Oakland. Barbara Lee was a mother who was not a voter and was not involved in the political system. When I met her and we talked and I invited her to join my campaign, she says, I'm not really into all of that. And I said, sister,
Huh.
she says, I don't really have to know how. I said, and I don't have the money to pay you. But she joined and she was instrumental in setting up the meeting I had with Huey Newton.
Mm.
Get the endorsement of the
And
Black
Black
Panther
Panther.
Party
Yeah.
during the primaries in California. And Huey was upset with me because he said, I thought you said you were, critical of the Black Panther Party. You said we weren't necessary. I said, nope. What I said was, I wish that the Black Panther Party wasn't necessary, but I understand why it is.
Mm.
And do you know where we had that meeting? Me and Huey P. Newton?
Please tell.
We met at Diane Carroll's house.
Okay.
Diane Carroll was also using her considerable platform to advance the liberation of people. Listen, everybody has a role to play. We met at her house.